I'm ready to get to the next spot.
It's getting to the point of like the risk reward is not really there.
You can see the mog out the window. What a view.
The problem would be more coming down than going up.
It's just incredible that this is sitting up here on a cliff.
Hello and welcome back. We are just north of Prescott, kind of on the backside of Sedona. If you are new here, I'm Drew. This is Savannah, and we are traveling full-time in our Unimog 1300L 1987 ex-German military ambulance. That's a mouthful. Anyways, we converted the whole house in the back as well as the cab so we could live here full-time. The route we're starting today is about 180 miles. Once again, off-road completely. There's no paved roads. First up, we're headed to Sycamore Canyon. We've heard there's some old ruins out there from old dwellings, so if we can take a little hike and find those, that would be cool. The road on Onyx is rated fairly easy for most of it. A couple of the offshoots are more moderate rated. So we'll see what it looks like when we actually get driving. I don't think the main route is gonna be too much. We have some friends traveling with us today. They also have an old ambulance of sorts. So we got a pretty funky looking crew rolling out here. Before we get going, we're gonna go check out our friend's rig here. They did a few upgrades recently, so we'll let them tell you about it.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, hey guys, how you doing?
You want to tell us about your truck?
So we have a 1990 International 4600. It was an ex-search and rescue from the state of New York.
This is our home. Welcome.
The whole build ourselves, and our most exciting part
Upgrade?
is the new 43-inch military tires.
Huge upgrade.
Huge upgrade.
You got like 6 inches of clearance just from those, right?
Yep, 6 additional inches just from that, and
Got rid of the dualies in the back?
yeah, rid of the dual
Oh
leaf.
yeah, that's huge too. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super singles.
Yeah, that's way better. Well, she did the roof raise, which makes the living space a lot nicer.
Yeah, tall
Roof
people
raise.
can stand inside.
Added a roof rack.
Thanks, guys.
Looks like a new rig since we saw you a year ago, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the exterior, the tires alone have changed, like how it looks so much, and obviously our capabilities. So curious to see if we can keep up with Moose, but we'll find out today.
Let's get going. Hopefully this road is not too crazy.
Yeah, we'll try not to leave you in the dust.
All right, so here was where you came in, and then so the pink is the route that we're gonna do. But the ruins are kind of an offshoot. I have no idea of the road condition.
That's part of the adventure.
No idea at all. So we'll get on this road, and if we can do it, great.
We'll find out.
Soon enough.
Be there in no time.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
I like the energy.
All right,
Good.
I'm ready.
that's the day's plan. Are we ready?
There
Are we
we go.
excited?
I mean, I think we're running the rears at like 55 anyways right now, so we'll probably just put the fronts to like 50.
After being reunited with Zach and Fiorella, we couldn't help but reflect back on our friendship and all the changes we've been through. The four of us met because we were both living in self-built shuttle buses. Back in those days, we'd talk about how we'd love to have more capable rigs, so we wouldn't be so limited in where we could explore. We always talked about having a Unimog, and they were some of the first people we told about our dream. So to be able to show off our new build to friends who had been there since this was all just a far-fetched idea felt like coming full circle. With our plans set, camp packed, and maps shared, the only thing to do was start the adventure.
We've spent about 4 days in this spot, but the view is incredible. And Zach and Fiorella joined us, I think like 2 days in. So we've been camping together, just hanging out, kind of preparing to do this route. But this spot has been gorgeous. The sunsets every night were incredible. But I think I'm ready to get on the road. I'm ready to get to the next spot.
So far the road is super easy. A lot of it's almost better than a paved road. It's starting to get a little bit washboardy like that, but super easy road so far. It's like a 1 out of 10.
We're pulling off onto a side route. I did a little research on this area and I found some cliff dwellings out here that are just a short hike from a trailhead down a side road. However, we don't know the conditions of this side road. And Zach and Fiorella's truck has a little bit less clearance than ours does. So we're gonna give it a shot and just see if we can make it.
See if it gets gnarly.
So far, the road wasn't anything you couldn't accomplish in a regular stock SUV. Pretty flat and not too rocky. But Zach and Fiorella's truck has significantly less clearance than ours, and a longer wheelbase. So the question mark of what lies ahead was in our minds. Any significant dips or rocky sections in the road, and we would have to risk damage to their vehicle, or maybe have to turn back. But so far, the only problems we were encountering were due to our height, but the conditions were getting steeper, sandier, and the washes deeper. But we continued on, unsure of what we would encounter next.
We could have so done that without the tires, you know? Whatever. It like, yeah, I was like, it's like going like this. I'm like, I don't think that's normal.
Yeah, that felt like something.
The farther we continued down the trail, the better the views became. As we exited Railroad Draw, we were finally starting to see that quintessential Sedona red rock ridgeline. That's when we came upon our first mark on the map, and the halfway point of this offshoot. A place labeled Henderson Cabin that looked like an old abandoned homestead. This is pretty cool. Two rooms.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. What more do you need?
Bigger than our house. Get the gutters running into a big old holding tank. When it rained, you could fill up your 1,000 gallons or whatever this is.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot. Judging by the graffiti on the wall, that is from the last 5-10 years.
It's been here since at least 2011.
It's the oldest one we've seen so far.
2011.
A lot of these are pretty recent.
2019, 2020. Oh, 96. Nolan was here in 96.
Great job, Nolan. You really did it, man. Good old Billy Jack back in 17. Jabe W. Higgy? What are these names? Don't really see any older dates, so either this wasn't completely abandoned until not that long ago, or they just wore off already. 96 is the oldest one we've seen so far.
This one says 72.
That one is the most believable.
That one looks like it could be from 72.
Yeah, and then like over the door, you know, the placement seems correct for the time frame.
Seems like a 1970s placement.
Yeah, very on style back then.
That one might be the oldest one. You can see the mog out the window.
Can you?
What a view.
That's funny.
What a view. Look at this.
Unimog.
There's not much history we could find on this old cabin. What we could dig up suggested it was used as a bunkhouse for ranch hands that were semi-permanent residents to the property. Without much to go on, we were left to guess at the history of this structure and the people who lived here. What would life really be like way out here, far from modern comforts of the city? No matter what time period, this would have been rugged and remote. What is clear is that a big priority for this site was water reclamation. There are several steel tanks on site, with catchment structures meant to funnel rainwater down into the tank. The largest of the tanks was located behind the bunkhouse. This style is called a trick tank, designed to spread out wide and gather as much water as possible, which is, after all, the most valuable resource known to the desert. Seems like a smart plan to us.
Should probably be aware of snakes in here, huh?
Yeah.
It's nice and cool under here.
Yeah, it is. See what we got.
There is still water in there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, this must be a massive holding tank.
In the middle of all our looking back and speculating about the past, this little guy showed up to remind us that some of us still call this place home. This is the horned lizard, one of our favorite creatures to find, if you can spot them.
And they blend in so good. They're like same exact color as the ground right here.
Honestly, I was so dead, I think I could have broke that.
What are we thinking?
I think it'll be alright. It's a personal truck call though. I think we'll go fuck
It wasn't long before we were once again outside of the vehicles, assessing another obstacle. This time, to decide whether or not to drive Zach and Fiorella's truck down into a wash and up a steep grade. We went back and forth on it and considered all our options. But after watching the Mog go through, they decided they weren't so confident they could make it without dragging their rear bumper on the way back up, possibly damaging something on the underside of the truck, which was seeming less and less worth it, so far from help.
The problem would be more coming down than going up.
Yeah. What do you mean coming?
I think that we have enough to where it wouldn't. I don't think it's like that, like down and immediately up. But like, I think my thing is just like, since it's like, it's not a through, it's not anything, you know,
Right.
then is it worth trying to find out? And
For what? For not much.
yeah, so I think that's where I'm at. Like,
Yeah.
let's just, there's a turn, I think, if you back it out a little bit.
Achilles heel.
That overhang, man.
Team Big Red has decided to turn back. The road's getting a little gnarly. Starting to push it for them. It's getting to the point of like the risk reward is not really there because we're going to be coming back on this road in a couple more miles. So they're going to stay back at the homestead and we'll just meet up them tonight. Kind of knew that going into this. Fiorella works remote anyhow and she had some work to do, and Zach has to fix a cabinet that came jostled free. So it makes more sense for them to just go back, chill, catch up with them tonight, and then we'll go back. The main road we came in on is a lot easier, so they'll be able to continue on the long journey, but they're going to sit this one out.
don't think we're making it past that without a good amount of work here. Let's figure out our options, see what we want to do. That's a whole tree.
Wow.
I wonder if I put the truck back there with the nose there and put the winch, if I could pull most of it off the trail and then push or chainsaw the rest. I mean, I'm not moving this thing by hand. I could probably cut most of it, but that's a lot of cutting. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure what we're gonna do. Figure it out. Current plan is we're gonna try to clear the road. I'm gonna start with the chainsaw, see what that's looking and feeling like. Other option is the winch, but that might take more setup time. So let's see what we can do with the saw first. Okay. It's almost like I'm trying to figure out how to cut it smaller because it's gonna be hard to clear that whole thing. You clear them, Savannah, while I cut them, okay?
Oh boy. Wow, guys. I didn't know that we were going to be landscaping today. We work for the Forest Service now. I was unaware.
Trying to make that side money. Forest Service, get at me.
We'll bring our mog and our chainsaw. All right, let's keep going.
It was real tempting to get the winch set up, but I think this was probably a little quicker today. It was a kind of a complicated setup. Not super experienced with the winch, so it was probably quicker for us to just cut it and clear it today. Next time. There'll be a time we need it. Back on the road.
We were noticing that low branches and downed trees were becoming a larger and larger problem. It seemed mostly due to all of the dead trees surrounding us from a recent wildfire. In June 2021, a dry lightning strike ignited the Raphael wildfire. Within 48 hours, it had burned 1,000 acres, and a month later, in July, 78,065 acres had been torched. But nature always seems to have a way of rebounding. All around us, you could see signs that the plants were making a comeback, and the desert was already starting to heal itself. It was clear no one had been on this road in a long time, and if the downed trees got any bigger, we may just have to turn back. But we forged ahead, knowing we were just a few miles from the cliff dwelling.
We made it. It was pretty gnarly there for a while and a lot of work. And we definitely got the reward. This is so gorgeous already, even without the cliff dwellings, which should be incredible. It's worth the drive. For a minute there, I was starting to wonder if it was worth it, you know? I'm ready to go check this out.
There isn't too much of a trail here, so I think we're just gonna have to kind of scramble up to the top, but it's pretty much just straight up here, about 500 feet. So hopefully there's some kind of path other people have walked, or maybe just a cow path or something.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, let's see what we can find. If you look back there, you can see the Mog. It looks so pretty with the red rock in the background.
Oh wow.
Look at that.
Looks small already. Well, Pablo's had enough. He just sat down.
All done.
Also, I just walked into a cactus, so my foot feels great.
It's going really well then.
It is going well. It's beautiful out here. This is insane.
Pablo, we gotta keep going. No thank you.
What's wild is this is that ridgeline we were looking at from camp back there the last few days. I didn't even realize this is where we were going.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice. Close. Oh yeah, there's some sort of sign.
Look at that. That's incredible. Oh my god. We have our first sighting of the cliff dwelling. You can just see a little corner up there of stacked rocks.
This is the best one I think we've seen. Makes sense. Probably not many people coming out here, so it's in good shape.
It definitely has the best views.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Definitely best view of any cliff dwelling we've seen.
Just like at the old bunkhouse, we are once again back to a place of thinking of the past. But this time, an even more distant past. Sycamore Canyon cliff dwelling sits between 800 and 900 feet high, overlooking its namesake, Sycamore Canyon. This is Sonowan territory, so it's estimated that this structure was built over 800 years ago by the Sonowan people who inhabited Sedona and most of the Verde Valley. There are many cliff dwellings in this area, but unlike the other dwellings, this one has been untouched by restoration and is still in its natural state of decay. But 700 years ago, the people living here abandoned everything. Although there are a lot of theories, no one knows exactly why. It's estimated that around 30 people called this particular cliff dwelling home, somewhere around 1200 AD. There are two main structures, each with an upper and lower level, totaling 4 rooms. It's remarkable how naturally well preserved all of the features are, with even the lintels above each door and wooden roof beams still in place. What's most impressive, besides the panorama view of the valley below, is how all of these building techniques, likely completed with stone tools, have stood the test of time. Almost 1,000 years old and still here in relatively good condition. Each sandstone brick stacked like Tetris perfectly upon the next. Sitting between these incomprehensibly old structures, looking out at the same view as humans did centuries ago, puts you in a different state of mind. What were they thinking? What were they feeling? Do we think and feel the same things now, hundreds of years later? What was life like 800 years ago? Although there are obvious differences between then and now, the essence of what makes us human remains. and runs a thread of connection from past to present. It was an honor to experience this piece of history up close, completely undisturbed, so far off in the middle of the backcountry.
It's just incredible that this is sitting up here on a cliff overlooking this ridiculous view. No parking lot, no fence, no gates.
So well preserved. That's amazing. Probably because there aren't a lot of people coming back here. It's pretty hard to get here. But Mateo doesn't like the heights, so we're gonna head back down to the Mog, meet back up with Zach and Fiorella, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow.
See you then.